You can hear me talk. Good afternoon, everybody. Boy, a lot of stuff has done happened in the next few days, or in the past few days, excuse me. So let's go on and start this right here. Let's get this. My mouse just ain't wanting to work right for me. Disclaimer up, just to be like you're supposed to be covered for fair use, because it just it's very, very unsettling how far people will go on YouTube. I'll tell you that right now. So before we get started, how about I put my disclaimer up, and I want to make sure I get this. Please like and comment, and also please hit the subscribe button. Um, I'm thankful for everyone who's here, and I like hearing all your comments, good or bad, on every video. So please hit the like button, because that does keep me in the, I don't, I forget what they call it. Um, the rhythm of the YouTube. So do that for me, please, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's get on here. We got to have a trigger warning for sure, because let's get up to who we're going to talk about today. And no, there's nothing wrong with your computer. There's nothing wrong with your computer. This is bullshit, Betty. And she normally just loses her mind. Some people can't even stand to listen to her anymore because of the tone she takes. But now, finally, she's just gone too damn far. And it's finally caught up with her. And right now, she's just evading getting her notice or submission or whatever you want to call it from the police. They're looking for her. They're looking for her to give her a paper that she has to go to court on for a TRO in Tennessee. And she's just evading her home. Delilah, her little puppy, is with her mom. Now, she thinks everybody's kind of stupid because, you know, the dogs around the neighborhood next door, I think, or across the street, came in and scared the shit out of Delilah, literally. I mean, Betty says, that they came across and tried to jump on little Delilah and all that, and it scared the living shit out of Delilah, and she was shitting all over herself. And let me just tell you, I can't even believe that's true, because she said she was going to show on the ring cam what happened, and what she showed, you can't see anything. You can only hear a dog in distress. And to me, honestly, it sounds like Delilah is in distress, like she stepped on her or something. So, I can't verify that the two Pomeranians, yeah, that's the dogs we're talking about. Some little Pomeranians attacked Betty and Delilah. That's her story, and Lord, is she sticking to it. but it goes along the lines of the lies that Bullhorn Betty tells. Now, she used this excuse to, within a little hour or two, to say, I need to take Delilah and go spend the night at my mom's because she's so traumatized from the event. Well, I don't really understand that because you're inside with Delilah now and the dogs are outside. So, you figure out that, I'll let you know because you'll see how this goes. Then the next thing you know, okay, we're all under the impression that she's going to her mother's because Delilah now has PTSD from the dogs, the Pomeranians that come to attack her. And to be honest, I think Betty stepped on Delilah in trying to get away from these vicious dogs. Um, because later Delilah was shown and she did not look injured. She was laying on the bed sleeping, like puppies do. But I think that was all left and right for her to leave town. You know, she always says she's one step ahead. Well, I think she's the dog and incident and Delilah. I think she hurt Delilah herself um to go to her mother's. And then the next thing you know, this stuff pops out about, I'm sorry, I had to take a drink. Pops out about one order against her. And then the next time you see her, she's going, ooh, guess where I am? And she did a lot of lives in between this also, like two or three. And then all of a sudden she pops up and it's just like, but you don't know where I am. And some of us were not stupid. We thought, oh, she's either in Tennessee or somewhere like close to that, right? Well, lo and behold, she's in Mississippi, right? And around Bighorn, where Chris Proudfoot's trailer is in that Yogi Bear Park. So it was just weird to think that she didn't know that the police were trying to serve her with these papers. To me, she had to know. Okay, get my screen work right today. And she does this all the time, you know? She tries to pretend like she's so much smarter than everybody else. She thinks she outwits everybody. She thinks um that people don't know where she is, that you're never going to be able to figure this out. She's not doing anything whatsoever. She always plays the constant victim. And The screen says, Bullhorn Betty, stop your mixing up your issues with the cases. She mixes even everything up. Always with her, everything is 100 miles an hour. Like, a kid can't go missing. They have to have, there has to be something of a criminal mind here. There has to be. So many things she has taken in this case. The picture of the car, the I don't even know how she comes up with the shit she comes up with. The car with the headlights and nothing else. You know, the police had said already the car lights have nothing to do with the case, and they have checked it out. They have done their due diligence, and then you have Betty spending 2, 3 weeks on the headlights, and she has it in her mind. In her mind, she has proven that it is the Bowersox car, or at least she's got a picture of the year of that car, pasted it on the lights and in the dark, and made the car fit into the shadow. And so, therefore, in her mind, that is the Bowersox car. And you ain't going to convince her otherwise either. Even though the police have said that's nothing to do with the case. She does not care what the police tell her. She thinks it is her job, that she's smarter than the police, she's better than the police, and she knows way more of how to handle the Proudfoots and than anybody else. Now, mind you, let me tell you that she has aligned herself on Seth's side of the table. So she has picked a side. Not only has she picked the side, she has gone through so many cases or videos. I mean, not cases, of videos calling Sebastian the delinquent, um, trying to think of all the nasty words she uses to call him. I'm sorry, everybody knows what the comments are that she calls him. She even went as far as trying to reach out to military people in trying to figure out how we take care of things, per se. She believes that everyone in the military is a trained killer. Now, mind you, Katie and Chris were in the Navy, but she believes that they were trained, like everybody else in the military, to be a trained killer. And that's just not how it works. She has a warped mentality on everything. If you've ever just listened to her, she's this way about every. I don't think she's been this way on every case. She's pretty bad on the laundry case, but much worse than she's ever been on this case. And some people say it has to do with her and JLR breaking up. And, well, I didn't even know about that, and I really don't care about it either. But now when you think about it, it's like, JLR escaped hell. So I'm sorry. She's just got a lot of shit going on. I mean, this is her six flavors right here. Her six flavors that she deals with and adds to everything she does. So, and all of this really is about Sebastian. I mean, she has she came late to the game and she wasn't on a side. So she was held a little to her mouth, which couldn't say as much evil things as she does, but she got better. And, well, not better. Hell no, not better. She got more intense when she got so called on the team of Seth and Tony. And then she just was like, somebody let the bat devil out its cage and has been rampant ever since. She thinks that, the rule in Tennessee is different than everywhere else, and that's their God given right. The way that Tennessee operates with no sidewalks, no easements, no, that is their God given right, and that is the way they beautify their area. And she tries to convince us that she can stretch over from the road and touch the pole. Now, I could make a giant joke about that, but I've refused to because we're talking about maybe 6 feet here. So I'm going to leave that stretching ability to your own thoughts. But I don't think she can stretch 6 feet. And now, she's been served. Well, she hasn't been served. She hasn't been served because she refuses to go home. But I think her mistake is that she doesn't know is she has admitted on a live several times now that she is aware that they are trying to serve her. And well, she just is working on the case over here, wherever here is. And I'm just not gonna be home for a while since a new hurricane or tornado is hitting Florida. I'm gonna stay away from home a little while, and then by then, she is saying flat out, and the police should be able to hear her quite clearly say that she is evading getting served. You're evading, Betty, and you can't say you're not because everybody on YouTube has been listening to you say how you're evading and you're going to continue evade. So if you haven't done anything wrong, then riddle me this. Why are you refusing to go home to get Delilah, to spend time with Delilah, and get served appropriately? Answer that one. Well, she's not going to answer it. She'll just feed us many versions of bullshit. Oh, shit. No good shit. She is a chicken shit. Trying to handle us special shit, but we're taking no shit from her. And that's just the way it has to be. Here, I'll give her a more cushiony one to sit on because there's no way for her not to deal with this subject. This is legal law. And then she thinks and then she thinks and she says that she's so much above the law in this instance that she's going to, one, the charges aren't going to stay in place for her, for the Bower Sox and Proudfoot not to have a TRO or a RO at that point, a restricted order for you to stay your ass off them, that you're going to turn around and sue them. Well, all of us saw, all of us saw it. You, you followed the Terry Bower Sox all around that town. You had some people, I guess, texting you where he was. Sorry. But they've analyzed that video. YouTube creators, different ones, have analyzed it, have picked it apart, and they show every single place how you were following him, how you pulled in the thing and waited for him. He lives in this town. How could anyone expect him not to go somewhere in the town? That is unreasonable because he is a resident and he's in his township trying to get gas, going grocery shopping or whatever, and lo and behold, the cops stop you. You jumped out the car, which I'm so any other place you probably might have got shot because you don't jump on cops. You don't jump out your car with cops. That was just the dumbest shit I ever saw. And I wish he would have tased your ass because the cop doesn't know what kind of person you are. And you jumped out the car. You didn't wait for him to come to you. Why? Because you were streaming live. And you didn't want us to know. And then, lo and behold, Terry Bowersox comes past, probably the only way he could get out the parking lot, and you're sitting there, and then you say, going off your sound of your voice when you're acting like that, going up 300 pitches and screaming, is enough to uproot a hornet's nest. I mean, you cannot control yourself as a 40-year-old something woman. I think you're 45, and you're always talking about old people 50, 55, and 60. And you probably should stop that because you already right around the block. You got glasses, you need hearing aids because that's why you yell. You said yourself 100 times, I don't hear that well. Get some damn hearing aids. Because God knows you've made enough off this case that you could buy a cheap pair of hearing aids. So all that goes on. Then you jump out your car on the man, and then he has to run a red light to get away from you. And you pass their house in the middle of the night, in the middle of the daytime. Both the Proudfoots, I think you passed theirs at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. What the hell do you have to do in their neighborhood at 3 o'clock in the morning? Nothing. So, do you think you're not stalking them? Do you think they should feel safe since you've already announced that you're coming out again into their town to do a thing at the sheriff's department. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just having a hard time with my speech pattern today. But she plans on going and raising a ruckus at the sheriff's department. And
I wrote in your chat.
okay, thank you. Um, somebody put something in the chat. I'm sorry. Yes, her calling uh Sebastian defective. That is the word I couldn't find out in my head a while ago. She's calling him defective, things like this. Um, that really pisses me off right there when she calls Sebastian defective. And she tries to pass it off like she says somebody else says that he's defective. I'm not saying it. No. Mm-mm. That's bullshit. You say it too much not to. Um, then Betty says Sebastian is defective, and that is why Katie got rid of him, allegedly. And these are comments that she says. I mean, not once, but about 20 times in each live. She can't stop saying this right here that he is defective. And I tell you, it really gets under my crawl every time she says that. And then Betty definitely stalked Terry, and these are from True Crime with Squirrel Girl. She stays on TikTok. That it's her channel, True Crime with Squirrel Girl on TikTok. She gets a hold of some of this stuff, and y'all keep up with her on TikTok because she no play. Betty definitely stalked Terry that day and then jumped out of the car, which the cop, so we wouldn't be able to hear what the cop said. And I believe that as well. This is True Crime Girl says some kind of gathering of voices. I don't know what that is. If you could tell me, is that what she's calling her vigil or something? She's just insane. She's just insane. That is all there is to it. She cannot um I don't think she's gonna get herself out of this one time. So okay, True Crime Girl is saying August 26th to the 28th is the gathering of voices thing. And yes, it's some kind of visual. I think that's what she keeps asking about how many people are coming so she can buy a cake. Who does that? I mean, if you're putting on an event, you don't try to get a roll call before people come to it, do you? To get a cake, you just buy a damn cake. If you think it's going to be something big, buy two cakes or whatever. And she said, the leftover stuff we have, we normally give it to the police. Well, then it don't matter. Just order two of the biggest cakes you can find. And if you have leftover, for once, come true to what you say. Give it to the sheriff's department. It won't be hard to find. It's that building you're standing outside of protesting. Isn't that a kick in the ass? I'm going to protest you, and then I'm going to give you some cake. Unbelievable. Wow. All of this, I'm just happy about it for once. It's been kind of mm, heartfelt in a way about Sebastian because she has it in her mind that it's only Katie and Chris that have done something. Chris, I mean, Seth is completely 100 and innocent in her mind. That is not in the police. The police all are suspects. All are. But Betty goes on to say that she believes they have. Im- I'm trying to figure out how to say it without saying it. MD or MDR. Nah, it doesn't sound right. I'm just gonna say it because I don't try to do all that stuff. She's trying to say she murdered her kid, but she don't try to say it. She says it. Oh, you want me to be correct for YouTube? Okay, she unalived the kid, but she can't say nothing else about how they got him out of there, how Houdini, how whatever. The police have been in the house. They say from all their checking that they all are suspects, but if they found something in that house, they would have gotten more, they would have done more to whoever's house it was than they have. Sorry, y'all, take a drink of water. Um, it's just unreal to me. It's really unreal to me how much evil, I guess, portrays out of her venom to the Proudfoots. She says what they don't do. They don't go out and search. They don't do this. She has her own set of rules that she thinks parents, not just in this case, but in other cases as well. She thinks she's the one who puts out a roll of rules for the parent, and if the parent don't follow her set points, then she just blames the family. True Crime says, yes, I'd love some cake scraps that are left over. After you said that, we are stupid and dumb, oh, and are in the run so we don't starve you with the RO from three people. I gotta read that again. From True Crime Girl. From True Crime Squirrel Girl says, yes, I hope I write it if she said yes, I'd love some cake scraps that are left over. After you have said we are stupid and dumb, oh, and are in the run, so we don't, and you are in the run, so we don't serve you with an RO from three people. That's a quote from Tennessee Sheriff. She, she's just unreal. I mean, she is literally running from the law right now. And she can't say she's not because too many people know about it. And she keeps saying, "Yes, I get home, I get home. If I don't, I don't." You're the dumbest person I've ever seen. Just, I don't understand her people who sub to her channel. I mean, when someone cuts off where people just can't drop in and like maybe are confused about something or don't know something and can't just write a question, you know, that you constantly keep it on subscribers mode. No outside interference, no outside commentary. You're a cement walled in there on every single live. You have no choice but to become a subscriber in order to ask a question, even. There is something very wrong with that kind of, uh, or maybe it isn't. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, if more people want to, support me and listen to me, I greatly appreciate it. But she is a money hungry person. She even said she's bringing a gun this next time she's coming back and a machete. She said both. So, why would you not think that the police or someone would go to the police? Why would you think they wouldn't? If you jumped out the car like that on Terry Bauer's socks, acting all crazy, Lord only knows what you would do if you saw Katie. It would be far worse than Terry Bauer socks. You have waited so long to get your teeth into Katie Proudfoot that you almost can't stand it. So they knew you were coming back to town and they did the right thing to get a restraining order so you can stop coming up and down the road, stay out their yards, stop, stop everything. It's ridiculous. True crime girls, even when people do ask her questions, she calls them stupid and dumb and other things, then kicks them out. That is so true right there. I've heard her, if you don't agree with her in her lives, if you don't agree with everything she's saying, you can't have another opinion either. Once she questions or reads out what you're saying, she'll do like this right here. Oh, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. I'm not ready for your bullshit. Let me just get rid of this one. And then the next one, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No, 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 stuff like that ejects you. She does this to everybody. You either believe in everything she says or you're not in there. And who does all the hard work of looking up for this and looking for that? Everybody else but her. She says it all the time. If y'all go out and see this, clip it for me, that, clip it for me, this, clip it for me, all my subscribers, we're one big family and we're all one. That is why we get everything done. She says this stuff. She has lost her mind, to be honest. Totally has lost her mind. She thinks nobody else has been looking for Sebastian. Nobody's good enough. And even when she went to Henderson, what in Tennessee last time, what exactly did she do? She went out, she put posters on telephone poles, which she knows, and she knew prior to not to put um anything on the telephone poles, but she did it anyway. So she broke the law right there. Laws don't apply to her. And she really believed that. So people who work in the city had to take time to go out and remove all that she posted on the telephone pole. And she knew it got taken down too before she left. I mean, what are you going to say you did there? Staked out the area? No, you went by the Bower Sock several times. You went by the Proudfoot several times. You stalked Terry Proudfoot down in the city, and then when he passes you and he's in a turning lane, you whip up behind him. You were behind Terry Bowersox. And you jumped out of your car like a raging maniac, attacked him verbally, and he ran a red light to get away from you. I'm surprised she didn't run the red light. And I'm thanking God for that too, because I'm not sure what she would have done further had that light not changed and he could get away from her. So of course when they find out she's coming back to town, they're going to go, oh no, uh-uh. Because my understanding is Chris is out of town or something. Or maybe he's going to be out of town on that date she's coming back to town. But either way, I totally agree with Katie getting a restraining order. I mean, wouldn't you? She already has you condemned in prison in the electric chair and everything. True crime squirrel girl says last time she stalked them. Yes, yeah, she really did. Then a few days ago, she put up a video saying and showing she walked around with a picture of Chris, asking people if they saw him on February 26th. That's stalking 100%. Um, I didn't know that she was carrying a picture of Chris, but now that you say that, it kind of makes sense. Thank you for sharing that. Um, yeah, this last time, and I'm talking about 2 days ago, she went to Mississippi. Well, she says that's where she was going, and she was going to check out Chris Proudfoot. So here we are, still with the Proudfoot. Um, she went to Yogi Bear Park, where his camper is, and she did go to all the gas stations along the route near there. Sorry. Um, Near the place and took a picture and then asked, "Have you seen this man? Have you seen him, on your footage of your cameras? Go look at your cameras and see if you've seen him and all that." So now that you say it, true crime girl, I get what you're saying, that it was a picture of Chris, because that makes so much more sense than because Sebastian wouldn't be getting gas or going to Home Depot or Lowe's or stuff like that. So yeah, this time when she went to Mississippi and focused solely on Chris Proudfoot. She says, yeah, she was walking around with Chris' picture to tool stores, asking if they saw him on their camera and that if they did to call the police. She thinks he bought tools to get rid of evidence. Well, I know this is kind of strange, but let me just think of what tools somebody would need. A shovel. Most people have a shovel. Um, Maybe a hoe to break up some dirt, but you can do that with the shovel. Mm, no, I can't think of any tools he would need to buy specifically to take care of Sebastian. There isn't a tool that I can think of. It sounds like just another set of bullshit from Betty. Now, earlier this morning, she said that she was an in. Wait, on her last live, she called herself an independent journalist, and this was new. Along with her saying, "in my opinion," because for almost the last month or two, she does not know how to say "in my opinion," allegedly, anything like that. She stopped using the appropriate terms on YouTube completely for the last month or more. And in the last YouTube video she made, she said, "Oh, in my opinion, I like to fell out of the chair. I like to fell out." So I do believe she's getting rid of her videos that are bad or that she thinks is. I just realized I have my little ranger buddy sitting next to me. He yawned. My ranger buddy is Lucas. He's a chihuahua. But he was asleep under this blanket and he moved. Then I noticed he was in the room. He's knocked out. Um, Sorry. Okay, Squirrel Girl says, I don't know. I don't think that way, so I don't know what tools in laughing my ass off. She apparently thinks like a psychopath. Yeah, I don't know what tools either. I know a shovel, I guess. But why would you use a shovel when you could get a backhoe in much easier time to do it? Um, it just she just makes up all these scenarios, but never was there a scenario that he just ran away. And that is a very probable possibility that he's run away. So, you know, let's transfer this over to Sebastian. Because Betty is a butthorn. Betty is just dumb. And I feel like she's drawn away from trying to find Sebastian versus adding to finding Sebastian. And I apologize for earlier in the video with having losing my words and airtime and stuff like that and it not flowing better. But that's a discussion we'll talk about one day. But this is the map of all the area. Every line on here is something that was searched. That is a lot of searching over the top of others, over the top again. It's almost an impossibility for him to be inside this circle, and yet he still may be. Sebastian Rogers. This is a smart boy, and he could appear to be just like every person standing around you. Every person has gone out of their way to describe him in a way that would make you think he would stick out. And maybe he would in a setting around certain people. But when you're out in the world, and there's a world of everybody, homeless people, transient people, poor people, medium people, all walks of life, then maybe he doesn't stand out so far then. We need to get back to concentrating on doing what we can to find Sebastian. I've done every positive video that I could do on Sebastian. But I'm not going to stop talking about him positively. And the people out there that want to know what his likes are for eating and stuff like that, you need to email my mod so that you can get a copy sent to you of his likes and dislikes of food, because that may stick out to people. It may be. I have a question about this guy right here. Let me give you a little bit more about this. This guy right here, from Ken Pringle, East Marquette Avenue, says, anyone know this kid? Just wondering why he's coming to my door at midnight. Lights went on and he ran away. School must be out that he's out that late. Now, mind you, we have a lot of people with stories that include Illinois, Wisconsin, other places around that. And here we got South Milwaukee, Wisconsin on 06/11 at midnight or around that. Everybody automatically says, well, that's not him. It's too big. He's too big. The pants don't fit him right. The shirt, his hair's first of all, I don't know if this person reported this to the police or not, but I hope they did. Because we don't know what he would look like now from before. We don't know what he would look like right here. But this very well could be him. We keep looking at these pictures of the only ones we have to look at, and that would be these type of pictures. But this very well could be him. But I don't know. I don't think it was followed up. And if it was him, we missed something very big of where he is or where he was going to. People ask me all the time, which do you believe? Do you believe Chris done something or Katie and Chris done something? At this point, since I have no evidence and I have looked hard and in the holes like other people, true fact evidence that I have based on information given to me as a viewer is that I agree with all three being the suspect. And Betty's there now trying to, I mean, not now, but the reason she's coming up is a part to address the sheriff's department and making Seth not a suspect. I don't know how she thinks she's going to do that. Um, just saying he's at work and on camera at work doesn't mean he couldn't have done this. He easily could have had someone that had been in jail a lot of times and made a deal with them about a certain amount of money or whatever they made a deal on to get his son. Sorry, that's life. That happens in this world. Could there have been an accident on the other side and somebody didn't know how to react to that and handled it wrong? Yes, that's a fact. That's a situation that could happen also. There are many situations, which is, why they can't work together. I'll tell you partly why. I mean,
The following are paraphrased. The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. Um, what is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
so there you go. That's what Seth thinks. So if Seth thinks that Sebastian is unalived, passed away, then why is he running all these money gambits to get money off his son? So to me, I don't understand why someone like Betty has so much anger and hate toward the Proudfoots versus a man over here who thinks and claims that he thinks his son is deceased and making a ton of money off of him. And she's standing right in front of it because she is part of the three-ring circus that is Sebastian. Get some more of these comments. True crime girl, swirl girl said, "Oh," and she said, "Shoot, BRB." She said, "Shoot, be right back." Let me go look so I can quote her crazy ass correctly. So she said, true crime girl, squirrel girl says, so by the time you guys even know where I am, I'm already gone, is what Betty said. And she did, and she's actually, you know, she's talking about evading the police, really. From the day she left home, which was the day that poor Delilah got stepped on, probably by her ass, trying to get away from the dogs. Um, she went to her mom's house that night, and Delilah's been there ever since. And today is Saturday. So for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 days now, she has not been home and is not counting on going home. And she's knowingly and deliberately, let me see what. You know me too well, Squirrel Girl. She says Betty is knowingly and deliberately evading this RO. That is exactly what I was just saying. She knows me too well. That's exactly what she's doing. And I feel like all her subscribers, if they have any sense, they need to get together with their sense now. You've been bamboozled. You have the wool over your eyes. Escape now while you have the chance. Question why she keeps y'all behind a cement wall. And this is kind of mind control as well. We need to get back to focusing on Sebastian. Granted, there's not a lot of information that's new, right? There's just not. Wait, I don't want her ugly face up there. I mean, I hope some way they can go and still check this out, but it's been over 2 months now. Um, maybe this will happen again. You know, there are kids that go missing for 10, 15 years before they're found. And I hope this is not the case here, that he is gone that long before he's found. But the truth of it is, if you want to be brutally honest about it, think about it from Sebastian's side, not Katie, not Chris, not Seth, just his. Being in his room, listening to his mother talk to Chris for, they said 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours. And it could have been an argument, actually, or a loud conversation, not movies and popcorns and book reading, but maybe a loud, uncomfortable conversation about sending him to Seth's. I don't think he wanted to go live with Seth. What kind of life would he have with Seth? Not really any life. Seth was teaching him how to function on his own without him. I'm going to work for 12, 14 hours. You make your food, make food in the microwave food. He taught him how to shop for microwave food. I can just see him going to the store and wanting to get some tofu because that's what he gets with Katie. And I could just hear Seth saying, "Son, Daddy, no, you need to get food you're gonna like be able to sustain on." And lead him straight to the nasty foods he eats. And coming from his house where he lives, he eats tofu, green tea, a plethora of things. I mean, there's a whole page, 2 pages of it. I'm telling you, send a message to my senior mod so that you can get a copy of this list, because this is what he would look for. This is what he would eat, even if he was out there. It may not be everything he eats, but some of the things on there would be something that would stick out. Like he does not like carbonated drinks at all. See, and I don't think that he wanted to go live with Seth. Not at all. Different life. He didn't like the online school thing. Um, I just don't think. I really don't think there's a lot of positive reasons that would make him want to go stay with his dad. I don't think he wanted to leave his mother. I don't think he wanted to leave his house, his room, his school, riding a school bus. He was in a routine. And I just don't think that he wanted to give it up. So, with that said, I want to thank you for watching. Please go hit a like and leave me a comment. And if there's a case or a person you want me to cover, leave that in a comment also. And please subscribe. The only thing we can do is keep looking for Sebastian. I thank you and have a blessed day.